Well, good afternoon. I'm Elaine Martin, Director of the Library at UMass Medical School and Director of the National Network of Libraries of Medicine and one of the Board of Directors of the Boston Library Consortium. And on behalf of all the UMass campuses, the Boston Library Consortium, the National Network of Libraries of Medicine, WPI, University of Connecticut, Holy Cross, and of course Tufts University, I want to welcome you to our 4th Science Boot Camp. I especially want to thank Tufts University for hosting us today. It's a beautiful campus, a great setting. We always look for a facility that can host us, that has dorms, facilities like this, a wonderful auditorium. And so it is a pleasure to be at one of our partner universities for this 4th Science Boot Camp. We had been originally at the UMass campuses for our first 2 boot camps. And in fact, boot camp started as a way for the UMass Science and Health Sciences librarians to work together on a variety of projects related to fostering e-science initiatives amongst ourselves. And we figured that in order to do that, it would be great also to learn more about science. And thus Science Boot Camp was born so that we could upgrade our skills in the disciplines of science. Following the 2 science boot camps through UMass, one of our other partner institutions, WPI, and Tracy Ledger-Hornby, the director, is here, hosted us last year. At UMass Worcester, we don't have dorms, and we really didn't have the facility to host, and Tracy, being with WPI in Worcester, agreed to do so, and it was really wonderful to have a science boot camp at one of our partner institutions, and then to have Tufts also stand up and say, we'd like to have you here. It really is a great opportunity for our partners as well as the UMass campuses to be a part of this. So we do want to welcome all of you, and we have an exciting program scheduled for today. I would like to acknowledge the Science Boot Camp planners. These planners are the science, health science, and other librarians from our partner institutions. This is a collaborative group. There are many of you here. And if you could please stand up and be recognized along with Regina, who's been the lead at Tufts for us. I'd like to thank all of you for the hard work and acknowledge all the people in the room. There have been many hours of science boot camp planning meetings, looking at different disciplines, topics to choose, arranging speakers, facilitating discussions. So I would like to thank all of you on behalf of the directors of all the partner institutions for all the work that you've done. It's really shows in the planning and in the agenda that we have scheduled for the next 2.5 days. So on behalf of the directors and the planning group, I would like to welcome all of you and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Elaine. I'd also like to call to the stage Laura Walters, our Associate Director at Tisch Library, who will also welcome you to Tufts. Laura?
Hello all. So it's my job, as Regina said, to welcome you to Tufts, and I'm really sorry we have rain. I did get in touch with all the people I knew to see if we could change that, but I guess I didn't have as much clout as I thought I had. But it is supposed to change over the next couple of days, and the weather is supposed to be changing, and so I really hope you do have a chance to take a walk around Tufts, particularly our quad, which is right out here. It's a lovely space, and I especially hope you get to go to the roof of the library, where you will see a wonderful view of the city. I'd just like to say I was looking at what you're going to be learning in the next few days, and it is such an exciting time to be in our field. When I started out, we were just part of a tiny piece of the research process, and now we are part of almost every single phase. So it is an exciting time to be us, and it's also a challenging time, but I know that we're all up for that. So have a really great time. And if I or our staff can do anything to make your stay any better while you're here, please just come to any of us. So have a great time.
Thank you, Laura. The next thing I'd like to do is just a few thank yous and some logistics. First, of course, I'd like to thank the Science Bootcamp planning team, Elaine Martin, Donna Cafell, Mary Adams, Paulina Borrego, Terry Burton, Javier Crespo, Paige Gibbs, Sally Gore, Nakaishi, Rosanna Kowalewski, Tracer Ledger Hornby, Sarah Marks, Barbara Maroli, Carolyn Mills, Myrna Morales, Tina Mullins, Daniel Ortiz, Rebecca Resnick-Zellen, Jay Schaefer, Maxine Schmidt, Anthony Viola, and Elizabeth Winteriz. I'd also like to thank Janet D. Paolo from UMass Boston, who also came out tonight with Tina. Thank you for your help. And my Tisch colleagues, Laura Wood, Miriam Allman, Paulette Johnson, Karen Votz, Bev Gobiel, Laurie Sable, Evan Simpson, and Laura Walters. The next people I'd like to thank is the Tufts University Conference Bureau and Tufts Catering. They worked with me for the past couple of months to try to make this program go as seamless and smooth as possible. So I think they deserve a round of applause. I'd like to point out one small error in the agenda. You'll notice that this afternoon I have our, let me get my agenda here. I have us with Dr. Frazier's talk going from 2:45 to 3:45, and then if you turn the agenda over on the next page, I have, I believe, the Tisch Library tour at 3:30. That's kind of impossible to be at two places at once. So really the free time or the Tisch Library tours start at 3:45 after we're finished with our second presenter. So please make that note. Just a few other things. Tufts Wireless, I think by now everybody has discovered it's pretty easy. You just go to Tufts Guest and then you're there. And also for people who need to power up, there are several power strips along the wall here. This is an older auditorium, so unfortunately we don't have power in the middle of the seating area. Bathrooms are located outside of the lecture hall, and if you're facing, so it would be to the left, or if you're coming in, it'd be to the right. And if you'll notice, all of your meal tickets, I'm sure you might know this by now, your meal tickets as well as your temporary Tufts ID is in your packets. If you look at the front of your packets, you'll see stars. This doesn't mean you're getting a grade or anything like that. What it does mean is that we're going to be dividing up tomorrow afternoon for the 3 demonstrations, and we have to divide up in groups of 27 to 30 because one of the rooms can only hold that many. And there will be people assigned to your group, so we'll have 3 groups of about 27 or 30 people. All right. Okay. And you'll know for all attendees, breakfast and lunch are in Carmichael Dining Hall, located in the lower level of Carmichael. And this evening's reception, dinner, and Women in Science panel will be in Ballou Hall, which is actually right next door to Barnum here, 2nd floor, the Coolidge Room. And please don't hesitate to bring any questions or concerns that you might have to me or to our Science Bootcamp planning team or the Tufts Conference Bureau. Bill, perhaps you want to load the President's presentation as I'm doing the introduction. Okay, thank you. Earlier this year, I was traveling to a data management conference to Washington, D.C. by Amtrak. And I was on one of the cars where I could get wireless, and it wasn't the quiet car, but it was, so which was good. You'll see why in a minute. And I received a reply of yes from our president to my invitation to speak at Science Bootcamp 2012. Needless to say, it was a good thing I wasn't in the quiet cab, and I rode into Union Station like I was a presidential candidate.